a society ruled by fear, has hunted down and executed thousands of witches based on mere suspicion. Greetings everyone. Today, we'll uncover the origins of witch hunts, their rise and fall in medieval Europe, and how they've shaped our world today. From the dominance of Christianity to the chilling tales of those accused, we'll explore the horrifying history of these hunts and their lasting impact. If you find this video interesting, please support us by hitting the like button. Let's start with how Christianity came to dominate Europe. Christianity, a monotheistic religion centered around God the Father, was not originally a European religion. Europe's original belief systems were polytheistic, as evidenced by Greek, Roman, Anglo-Saxon, Germanic, and Norse mythologies. Ancient Rome, a cornerstone of Western culture, adhered to Greek and Roman mythologies and believed in guardian spirits, known as noumena. In its polytheistic framework, diverse beliefs coexisted, reducing religious conflicts or blame based on belief systems. Eventually, Rome conquered most of Europe and the entire Mediterranean Sea, developing into an empire. At this time, Christianity began to spread throughout the territory of the Roman Empire. Various sects faced accusations of hypocrisy and subsequent persecution. A tumultuous period that included the crucifixion of Jesus. For the Roman Empire, Christianity was a troublesome religion. As a monotheistic religion, Christianity refused to deify the Roman emperor and worship him. Roman emperors, opposing festivals and events honoring multiple gods, initiated the persecution of Christians. However, the Roman Empire faced great turmoil, marked by rapid changes in leadership, civil wars, and mass migrations. Against this backdrop, Christianity was embraced by the lower classes, and slaves, and Christ, who stood for equality and benevolence, gained the support of the socially vulnerable. Christians resisted persecution, often at the cost of their own lives. In 313, the Edict of Milan, issued by Roman Emperor Constantine, legalized Christian worship. This led to the subsequent development and expansion of Christianity, and by the end of the 4th century, Christianity was within the borders of Rome. However, this was not a time of peace. Religious conflicts have always existed. The Christianization of the Roman Empire also saw the emergence of various denominations within Christianity, with different interpretations and forces attempting to revive Roman polytheism, and in turn, Christianity began to persecute and oppress them in cruel ways. Until the middle of the early Middle Ages, the persecution of heretics was the main focus, and witch hunts were not rampant. In the Roman Empire during the early Middle Ages, Germanic customs were stronger than Roman law, and witch hunting could not be carried out merely on the pretense of heresy. It was difficult to bring a witch to court, unless someone claimed to have been harmed by a witch. In fact, there was even a positive image that the medicines made by witches were useful for illness and childbirth. However, in the 12th century, with the active study of Roman law, witch hunts began to run rampant. Not precisely because of Roman law, but because the clergy applied a law to Christianity that allowed them to execute people for treason without question, if there was a plot to murder the Emperor of Rome, allowing them to be tried and put to death even if they were suspected of being witches or heretics. This law's enactment triggered the onset of inquisitions and heretic executions, notably in southern France and Italy. Until this time, any person, male or female, who was rumored to be a heretic, was subjected to religious trial. Then, in the 15th century, the concept of witches, apostates, who made a pact with the devil and plotted to destroy Christian society, was born, and a large-scale witch hunt ensued. After the end of the 100 Years' War between England and France, the witch hunts became even more violent, and Jeanne d'Arc, the hero who led France to victory in the 100 Years' War, was burned at the stake during her trial for witchcraft. The absurdity of the witch hunts is evident in the book, The Malleus Maleficarum, also known as The Hammer of Witches, written in 1484 by Heinrich Kramer and Jacob Sprenger, monks entrusted by Pope Innocent VIII with the authority to conduct witch trials. This book is a guide on witch hunting, and provides guidelines on how to find and eliminate witches. The content is inconsistent and includes methods of framing and brainwashing to change the perceptions of those who do not believe in witches. The book insinuated that women, often those marginalized or without support, should be the primary suspects in witch hunts, highlighting the misogyny prevalent in that era. The book spread throughout Europe, thanks to Gutenberg's typography, and was read by many people. In 1490, Pope Innocent VIII officially declared the book to be full of errors. And in 1538, the Spanish Inquisition banned the Malleus Maleficarum, or the Hammer of Witches. Despite its controversies, the book, already widespread in Europe, persisted as a reference for witch hunters. Indeed, certain Christian authorities did not intend to stop the witch hunts, using them as a tool to instill fear and ensure submission to religious doctrines. Also, the growth of the market economy and the penetration of the money economy had begun to shake the church-centered order, making religious trials and witch hunts indispensable to Christianity. There was also the reason that the church had lost its authority. Due to the failure of the Crusades, the church could confiscate the property of witches, which was a means of enriching itself. Often, witch hunts targeted wealthy widows, driven by financial motives under the guise of religious righteousness. For some citizens, tragically, witch hunts were viewed as spectacle and entertainment, echoing the people of ancient Rome who watched gladiatorial combats. This comparison highlights the desensitization to human suffering. During both periods, women's rights were so disregarded in the Middle Ages that they were almost non-existent. If their husbands had a high social status or some other connection, they were somehow spared from witch hunts. But most women were turned into witches for lax reasons, and burned at the stake after being tortured to death to the utmost. The criteria for deeming someone a witch were profoundly flawed, often based on personal dislikes or jealousy, leading to accusations even for trivial reasons, such as spurned advances or envy of another's beauty. During that period, accusers were often rewarded, leading to false accusations driven by greed. So, was the witch hunt only for women? In some areas, there were more male victims than female. In the case of men, they were called demons or wizards, who had made a pact with the devil, and once suspected of witchcraft, only death awaited them. The trial of Maria Hall is a rather unique case among witch trials. She endured 94 harsh tortures but was ultimately released after steadfastly maintaining that she was not a witch. Witch hunts gradually disappeared with the advent of the 18th century, known as the Age of Enlightenment, which emphasized reason, scientific inquiry, and skepticism of superstition. The era transitioned from a feudal society, where religion held absolute authority, to a capitalist and industrial society, diminishing the church's control. Witch hunts are banned in various regions, and religious trials disappear. Witch hunts ceased altogether after the public execution of Anna Gerdie in Switzerland in 1782. The tragic witch trials, which varied greatly in different regions and times, are estimated to have claimed a staggering 60,000 lives. While the witch hunts, the black history of medieval Europe, are still remembered as horrific history, they also led to a violent backlash against the Church, the development of Protestantism, and the spread of atheism and anti-theism. These events also contributed to the advent of the Age of Reason. This period was marked by a shift towards rationality and scientific inquiry, partly propelled by the disillusionment with religious institutions, underscored by the corruption evident in witch hunts, and the sale of papal indulgences. The Catholic Church, which conducted witch hunts, has also acknowledged and reflected on the terrible mistakes of the past. Pope John Paul II, the 264th Pope, acknowledged the Catholic Church's responsibility for several acts against humanity, including the witch hunts, and publicly apologized to the victims. Today, witch hunts are considered impossible, but there are still countries and regions where witch hunts remain. In some regions, including certain areas of India and Africa, harmful practices persist, such as so-called honor killings, where individuals, often women, are harmed or killed for actions deemed to dishonor their families. In Saudi Arabia, witchcraft is still considered a serious crime. In the 21st century, punishable by death. Often, allegations of witchcraft may be used as pretexts for various social or political motives. It is the same as the witch hunts of the Middle Ages. Today, the term witch hunts often describes situations, especially online, where individuals face baseless mass accusations, typically fueled by rumors or deep-seated biases. It's crucial to raise awareness that these metaphorical witch hunts are more than just harmful. They can be devastating and, at times, even deadly. This was about the bloody history of the Middle Ages and witch hunts. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more insightful content. Take care and see you in the next video. Goodbye.